I can't believe I'm about to say this, but we're going to take a look and see if this college student actually intentionally flashed Charlie Kirk. So this debate kind of was making the rounds online. The original title, Woman Subtly Flashes Charlie Kirk in Order to Get Him Banned on YouTube. Does it make sense that she would intentionally do this?
Do you feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself?
How are you going to get more prepared if you do not allow yourself to be challenged? The whole purpose of a college campus is to prepare individuals such as yourself to be able to speak and think and articulate yourself as an adult.
You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right?
I don't know how old he is. I don't think it matters.
Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a registered
so
voter.
I vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah? Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Then a professor talking to you? Who are you?
You think she really doesn't have any idea who he is? I'm sure she knows who Vivek is, but okay, we'll assume that you have no idea who this guy is and you just decided to wait in line to get to this microphone.
Important enough for you to come up to a microphone.
Actually, when I first saw this ad, I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Starting low, hopefully we can go up from here. Let's see what happens next.
It's an open mic.
I think that you push a dangerous agenda.
Such as?
When someone does that tactic, what you do is dangerous. What you talk about is dangerous. The only response is, let's get specific. What are you specifically talking about there? Like, what is dangerous? We need some evidence.
Your stance on abortion rights, for example.
Here we go.
I wonder if she really understands that what many conservatives are advocating is that it just goes to the state level and that they allow states to make their own decisions, and it's not just taking one policy and putting it forth across the entire country.
Okay, so
let me ask a question. What is your name?
Jean.
Jean. And what is your understanding of the current Republican Party's stance on federal intervention in abortion?
Well, I know that they want to bring it back to the states, right?
She does know that, and yet she still characterized it as banning abortion, which shows that she's not really too worried about accuracy. She was just going for the low-hanging fruit, which is pretty common, unfortunately.
So it sounds like you do know that the Republican Party's current stance on abortion is they're against a federal ban on abortion.
I do understand that,
and we're talking about a
yes.
presidential election as the
Yes.
important election that we're talking about here.
I understand that, yeah.
It's really interesting to note her demeanor switch when she starts talking to Vivek. I wonder if it's because she knows because she recognizes him.
Great. So, again, I think this open dialogue is great. I think it's great you're here challenging Charlie, and I think it's great that he's willing to travel campuses across this country to talk to the next generation. We need more conversation. Now, where's the disagreement, though, on content?
Or is it because she is not talking to what she perceives a white man, and so suddenly there is a visible adjustment here.
The way that you edit content and specifically frame it so that people look bad talking to you. The way that you edit your content.
We post unedited content.
How do you know about how they edit content? If you just a moment ago you said you have no idea who he is.
Who are you?
Yet you know about how he edits his content.
We got a long line of people, but I want to hear from you. One substantive area where you have an authentic disagreement, and I'd be glad to address it. I'm sure Charlie would too.
Just in
anything. Relating to any political topic where you have a disagreement. Let's air it.
Okay. I disagree with some of the laws that are being pushed in Congress that are against the LGBTQ community.
I would counter this by saying, please point to a law that prevents someone from being able to identify as trans. To conflate the ability to identify as trans with the concerns of, let's say, women in a locker room. People can have those concerns without crossing over into the legal implications of anyone's right to identify a certain way. It's interesting how she just encapsulates all of that into laws
And so the lines that I draw here is that men are free to claim to be women and swim in swimming pools. You're not free to claim trophies in a women's sports competition. You're not free to enter a women's locker room. You're not free to change a language, and you're not free to actually indoctrinate our children who are under the age of 5 in schools. Do we agree on the fact that adults should be able to live freely while still treating children differently? If so, we're on the same side of this issue.
Listen, I agree with the majority of what you said. However, I don't think that you're understanding the implications of the laws that are trying to be passed.
Let's put trans aside. Can you articulate a single law that is targeting LGBTQ people that exists today or that is being proposed?
Look, we got a head start in the conversation. We got a long line behind you. But my only ask is, forget the personal attacks or the stylistic attacks. Focus on substance. The more we debate that, the stronger we're going to be as a country. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I don't think you're focusing on substance, though. That's the issue.
Hold on.
Wow, so Vivek just ended it and she's coming back for a little bit more? I'm guessing this is where it would happen if it does.
He intentionally tried to provoke substance out of you. And you said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about? Can you be specific?
There it is. Yes, it was subtle.
Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about?
And the original title in this video was Woman Subtly Flashes Charlie Kirk in an effort to get him banned, something along those lines. So to be fair, that would require him posting it without realizing she had done it, which is unlikely. So it looks like this was just a human mistake. The floor has kind of vanished out from beneath her. She's in front of people. She has clearly lost this exchange.
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous, but this is what you do. This is what you do. You take people and you put them under the spotlight, and you.
Well, hold on. I didn't ask you to come up here. You voluntarily came to the front of the line.
Then they called it being nervous, but it's really, oh man, like there's a logical disconnect because you come into these kind of exchanges with this emotional certainty that I can go up here and I'm going to be able to. No one could possibly contend with the morality of what I'm saying.
So Charlie, I'll say this. We'll end on this and we'll go to the next question. When I was 18, and I'm not going to blame you for this, I also took for granted a lot of the stuff that the media force-fed me, because that's what you know at the age of 18.
When you come at it in a logical manner, it takes a very different shape.
You say there are some vague laws making their way through Congress that are hostile to trans communities.
Do you know how?
I don't think those laws actually
about,
exist, but I don't blame you if that's
what
the cable media is feeding you. But let's get to the specifics, and then we're able to actually have an open dialogue. And that's one of the things I've learned over the last 20 years.
She doesn't look like someone to me that would be able to coordinate an elaborate plan of any kind. So I don't think this is intentional. Though, yes, the substance of her arguments are pretty loosey-goosey. No pun intended.